Okay, the tip of the month this month is win more than your share of REO bids. You know, there are a lot of properties that are owned by banks right now. It's a good time to buy properties from banks, but everybody knows that. A lot of people know that, so you have a lot of competition. Back during Katrina, remember when Katrina, when that was happening, I was depending on HUD deals. I was buying HUDs 2 or 3 a month. And when Katrina hit, they closed HUD down. You couldn't buy any HUD properties because they thought they were going to need that housing for displaced people. So what was I going to do? I mean, that pretty much was going to close my business down. I decided I was going to go and buy properties from banks. Well, the competition at that time was fierce also, and I thought, what can I do to win these deals since there's so many people bidding? It's really just an auction. It's you know, the bank takes a lot of bids. Have you ever bid on a property from a bank and they said, give me your best and final offer? Have you ever heard that? That just means it's an auction. We're going to look at the best offer, and that's the one we're going to take. And I thought, well, how can I make my offer better than everyone else's? And I did, and it worked. In fact, I started buying more REOs than I was buying HUDs. And here's what I did. I first showed them that I was a serious buyer. I was anxious to purchase and that I could purchase. And how did I do that? I gave them a big, non-refundable cashier's check with my offer, as much as I could afford. If I knew I was going to buy the property and I had an extra $20,000, I would give them a cashier's check for $20,000. Now, how many other offers had cashier's checks for $20,000 attached? None. Just mine. Now, if I was tight on money, maybe I'd put $2,000 or $3,000. But if I really wanted the property, the more money I would put down with the offer. The next thing I did was I had the best proof of funds letter that they had ever seen. My proof of funds letter said something like this. We will loan this person up to $200,000 for up to 10 houses. How much is that? How much is that? $2 million. How many other people had proof of funds letters for $2 million? None. Well, you may not be able to get that immediately, but if you're always trying to improve your proof of funds letter, how good it is today, it doesn't matter. Go to the next bank and say, can you do better? Can I get a better proof of funds letter from you? The next thing I did was to make the closing date immediate. I would tell those banks, I will close in 3 days or as fast as your people can put the papers together. Now, if you've ever dealt with a bank, you know that's not going to be 3 days. So that's not a problem. It's going to take them a month. So you're really not giving away anything other than they know you're serious. Offer to pay all the closing costs. Now, if you've ever bid on any bank properties, you've probably had counteroffers where they came back and said you paid closing costs. If you've done that, that's what they say. I don't give them that opportunity. I tell them right up front, I will pay all the closing costs except for the prorated taxes. You pay your part of the tax and I'll pay my part. The next thing I did was I did not ask for any outs. I'd already inspected the property. I didn't ask for an inspection time. I didn't say I'm going to pay $10 and have 5 days. I didn't ask for any outs. If they accepted my offer, I was going to buy the property. And they knew that. And then I put a cover letter that outlined all of this along with my offer and anything that was wrong with the property, especially the things that were wrong with the property. So when I started doing this, I started getting REO offers accepted one right after another. Well, what happened was, when the bank got all these offers in, they made a stack of offers they were going to look at and a stack that they were going to reject. When they went through each one of these, they always moved mine to the accept, 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 and then by the time they got to the end, the only one that was left was mine. You can do the same thing. This really works. This is an amazing thing. And if that's what you take away from the meeting today, That was worth your trip. That's the tip of this month. If you want to see this tip of the month and other tips of the month, go to DennisJHenson.com, where you'll find all kinds of things for real estate investors, products that you can purchase for extremely low prices, great quality.